Chief White House correspondent Major Garrett is with us now from Valdosta, Georgia. Major, good to see you. Super Tuesday seems like Trump's night to lose. He's leading in most of the states voting today, but there are potential concerns for his campaign, are there not?
Yes, there are concerns, and if you talk to those in the Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio camp, they will all tell you the same thing. God, we wish we had one more week between now and Super Tuesday. The bad news for them, they don't have a week. Voting is now. As a matter of fact, voting has been going on in most of these Super Tuesday states for a good long while, which meant, in all likelihood, Trump has racked up votes and is likely to rack them up today. Cruz is very hopeful he'll win his home state of Texas, but that's something that he thought would have been guaranteed weeks ago, and to even be worried about that now, bad sign for Cruz. There is some hope in the Rubio campaign that he might sneak a first place in the Minnesota caucuses, but other than that, all the Rubio campaign is looking for is a strong second. So what are the concerns for Trump? Well, if you talk to the Cruz and Rubio campaigns, they do believe the controversies that have surfaced in the last week dealing with either white supremacists and Trump's inability to sort of declaratively say they have no role in my campaign and I denounce them absolutely and unequivocally, to controversies related to Trump University, the lawsuits or the civil suits involved with that, his history of employing foreign workers at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. All these things have begun to gain a little traction, but not nearly enough traction to take Trump down today or materially undercut his momentum. So what is left for the Rubio and Cruz campaigns after today? Well, they have to say we did well, look at the expectations game, and then hope these controversies, these issues which Cruz and Rubio believe are relevant and meaningful, begin to take hold and take down Trump's momentum. But one of the things that you learn in presidential politics, winning is contagious. And Trump talks about winning all the time, and a big night tonight on Super Tuesday will give that glow of victory even more so to his campaign, which could augur well for future contests.
Still, most recently, I think there have been, certain members of the GOP that have come forward that are hoping to cut down his momentum. Many, at least a handful of senators, governors, have come out against Donald Trump and against the idea of him becoming the nominee. But if he becomes the clear favorite to win and the people are backing him, is there any recourse for the party?
Well, there is one very big recourse. It is sort of the, in case of emergency, break glass option, which is to essentially say you have followed the process, you have the delegates, but the Republican Party, as organized, will not support you and run away, move in the other direction, nominate someone else as a third party and say, you know what, the Republican Party is big, but it's not big enough for you, Donald Trump, or your supporters. So you may run as the quote-unquote delegate leader in the Republican Party, but we're actually going to put up a candidate to run against you as an independent, dividing the party, dividing its resources, dividing its long-standing unity, and essentially offering three options for voters in November. This is a, like I said, in case of emergency, break glass scenario, where Republicans would essentially tell the country there are two kinds of Republican Party, the Trump-led Republican Party and whomever the standard bearer would be for this alternative Republican Party. And that's where the hard part, and this, what I've just described is hard enough, really begins. Who is that standard bearer? Who is that person that becomes the alternative to Trump? Is it Paul Ryan? Is it Mitt Romney? Is it somebody else? And would that person have any chance materially to take on Hillary Clinton and or Donald Trump? Or does this become an alternative reality that doesn't win electoral votes, doesn't become a persuasive voice for the party, and the Republican Party, as we have known it for so very long, becomes a completely unrecognizable political actor in American life.
Major, let's focus a little bit more on Marco Rubio. So after a week of aggressively attacking Donald Trump, there was a column in The Atlantic that said, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but in the case of bullies, sometimes they do. Will this strategy work? And if he doesn't win any states at all, can he continue on in this race?
Well, Rubio will clearly continue on to Florida, but it's interesting. Tonight, Donald Trump will have his Super Tuesday victory rally, not in a Super Tuesday state, but in the state of Florida, which will vote next. Trump believes if he wins the state of Florida and he's leading in the polls there, that will be the end of Marco Rubio's campaign, no matter how much establishment Republicans might want Rubio to continue. So for Rubio, what he has to do tonight is defy expectations, have a number of strong second-place finishes that are closer than expected to Trump, and that best Ted Cruz, because then he can say, seriously, Republicans are looking for an alternative. More often than not, they are not taking Ted Cruz. They are going for me. I'm closer than expected. And that closeness, that proximity to Trump, if it is achieved, could be a rationale for Rubio to say, if this race clears and it consolidates and it just comes down to Trump and Rubio, then and only then do I have a chance. But many, many things have to fall in place for Rubio tonight across many different states for that to work.
All right, Major Garrett, thank you.
Thank you.